Second herb is dandelion leaf. This is Taraxacum officinale. I think of the leaf of dandelion as the universal diuretic. It is bitter in taste. Now, the earlier spring dandelion greens are going to be less bitter. The longer they go, the bigger they get, the more bitter they get. The more latex they have in them, the more bitter they are. So the earliest dandelion greens, they'll be bitter. They're just not going to be as bitter as the older leaves. So it's bitter in taste, has a slight mineral salt taste, which again is indicative of minerals. Now, whereas burdock is really pretty broad spectrum in its action, I find dandelion leaf to be a little bit more targeted. So I think of it more as a kidney, urinary tract alterative. Now it's bitter, and so it will be acting on the liver as well. And in that way, it'll have some digestive stimulant effects like most things that taste bitter, but that's not really a main way that it's used. It's really mostly used as a diuretic. And so I think of it as a diuretic alterative. Now, what's cool about dandelion leaf is that it is what we would refer to as a non-irritating, potassium-sparing diuretic. What does that mean? Well, non-irritating, it's not going to stimulate the kidneys and irritate them to increase urine output. Like juniper berry tends to be more like that. It's more of an aquaretic. It's actually working through mineral exchange, sodium and potassium, electrolyte balance, things like that. Now, the problem with most, say, prescription diuretics like thiazide or loop diuretics is that you have to take them with potassium pills because that increased diuresis is causing you to lose potassium. Nature, in its brilliance, creates an herb like dandelion leaf that has ample amounts of potassium, like tons of potassium. So you drink the dandelion leaf, you get the diuretic effect, but it helps your body remain replete with potassium. So that's a really interesting and unique property there. And again, is a very good example of a mild alterative nutritive tonic. So in that way, the diuretic effect of really any herb that is diuretic, but in this case, dandelion leaf, will aid in the draining of dampness constitutionally. And that is oftentimes, in some instances, an effect that we are going for when we're considering the spring cleansing. And this can be really useful here in the case of dyscrasias of the blood, especially uric acid accumulations, where people maybe get achy in their body, joint pains, muscle aches and pains due to accumulation of metabolic waste products. Diuretics are commonly really useful for doing that. So we have this dynamic of the mineral-rich tonic and the alterative in dandelion leaf. Now, unlike burdock, dandelion leaf is a little bit more humorally active. So it has definitely more of a cooling, energetic. It's not slight, but it's also not really, really strong. It's a cooling herb. And it is going to be drying because of its diuretic effect. So it is increasing urine output that will generally dry you out. So some of the main indications that I tend to think of for dandelion leaf really is dampness. Anytime I'm seeing dampness, especially in the form of edema, I think of dandelion leaf. It's one of my go-to herbs for people that maybe have a little bit of elevated blood pressure, and we need to drain some dampness from the system. Dandelion leaf is just really reliable. It's really a useful remedy. And again, I just like that it's got some nutrition there too, which in general, most modern people are ironically overfed but undernourished. So anytime we can get herbs in them that have a good nutrient component to them is a good approach. I also like dandelion leaf if we do see some liver gallbladder insufficiency. So perhaps poor digestion of fats and oils oftentimes is a good indication for insufficiency in the liver and gallbladder. We can usually note that if when the person has a bowel movement, the stool is a little more pale in color, or if we were to see an oily sheen on the surface of the toilet water. This indicates that fats and oils are not being properly emulsified, which would indicate that there is an insufficient amount of bile, which would indicate that the gallbladder is either not secreting enough of it or at the wrong time, or that the liver is not producing enough of it. Either way, regardless of what stage in the pathway is having an issue, something that's bitter generally will aid with that. So a little liver gallbladder insufficiency is nicely addressed by the bitterness of dandelion leaf. And this is just a good herb for people that have vitamin mineral deficiencies. So anyone that has, I guess I tend to think of it in terms of weakness, emaciation, pale. Maybe they have some form of anemia, whether that's iron deficiency anemia. Now, dandelion leaf is not super rich in iron, but it is rich in other nutrients and cofactors that are useful for building blood. So that's good to consider. Osteoporosis too is another one I think of. Bone weakness, muscle weakness, like they're just weak and they need nutrition. Someone that's just malnourished, very useful there. And because it's cooling, it'll help clear heat. So it can be very useful for those heat patterns, like I mentioned under burdock root. If someone is having some expressions of heat alongside that dampness, that's even more of a clear indication where dandelion leaf is a very useful remedy to consider. So love this one also because it literally grows everywhere. I mean, I feel like I've traveled, I wouldn't say I've traveled all around the world, but I've been to some places in Europe and some places in South America and traveled all over North America, and almost everywhere I go, I see dandelion, right? It's like so readily available. And I think those are the very useful herbs for people to be aware of that just grow outside most places. Good remedies to know about and to use.